If you're just getting started in Excel and you've been tasked to create a dashboard, you're in the right place. This video is going to walk you through how to create an awesome interactive Excel dashboard with advanced functionalities in just 20 minutes. It's very packed. You're going to learn additional or advanced functionalities as well as advanced chart types. So stay tuned and let's get right into it. So whenever you're presented with data, you want to have predefined questions you want to get out of your data. So these are a few questions that I want to ask this data and be able to get insights on. So I want to understand what the sales trend is across the years, which country buys the most from us, who are main retail salespeople who brings in the most profit, and just go on. So all of these questions I want to answer with my data. So now I have predefined my questions. I'm going to just do a little bit of data cleaning, that's removing rows that are not needed or columns that are not needed. Additionally, I want to introduce a new column called days to ship, which is a subtraction of the ship dates and the actual order dates. I'll go ahead to tabularize my data as well as insert a pivot table. I'll go ahead to name this worksheet as analysis. The first things first, we want to identify the summary statistics, total sales, quantity, discount, profits, as well as the average days to ship. Once we've identified that, I'll just go ahead to just make it look good so that I know where my summary statistics are, and as well as introduce the right currency type or data type so that it's more readable. Then again, I'll go ahead to copy that to create another pivot chart so I don't have to do that from scratch. Once I have done that, I'm just going to align everything as it's meant to be and then introduce the next question, which is to understand the trend of orders across the different years that we've been in business for. Once I have that sorted, I'm going to use this current pivot chart to create a new one. And the next question that we want to understand is which country buys the most from us. So from the inside, I'm seeing that it's just United States that is here. So I'm just going to switch it up and instead have region and states. So the region as well as the states want to understand who buys the most from us, as well as I'm going to streamline this to top 10 based on sum of sales. That means the top 10 sales or states that buy the most from us. I'll go ahead to copy that as well to introduce a new pivot table. And this one, we are going to go ahead to understand who are best retail salespeople. Once I have that sorted, I would like to sort it in ascending order. That means the lowest person on top and then the highest person below. Once I have that, I will use that to create another pivot table to understand what are the top 10 products that bring in the most profits. So I'll have the profit in the rows pane and then the sum of profits while in the values pane. Additionally, I'll go ahead to do my top 10 based on profits. And from what we can see here, Canon image is like the top products that we have. Go ahead to copy this to create another pivot table. Once we've created that, we want to answer what our best-selling category and subcategory to understand that more better. once we have that, we'll create the last pivot table. And in this case, we want to be able to understand our top 10 customers who have brought in the most profits. So now we have that, we have our final pivot table. I want to understand the difference between the not returned and returned goods, like percentage of goods that have been returned and not returned. I'm just going to do something interesting here. So once we have that, we have the percentage difference across the not returned and not returned. So next up, we're going to create our sheets for our dashboard, turn off the grid lines so that we have a clean sheet or a clean canvas to work with. So introduce your sheets however you want to be able to design your dashboard. Go ahead, feel free. So there are different places where you could get inspiration on how to create your dashboard. Check out Pinterest. So there are a lot of dashboards in Excel. You can use that as an inspiration on how you want your canvas to look or how you want your dashboard to look. So feel free, explore, be creative. But this is how I'm going to be working out mine, so you can follow through and learn a thing or two. So these are the various ways I'm going to be visualizing our charts. So if you haven't worked with a Sunburst chart or a Treemap, this is an opportunity for you to learn. We're going to be creating would be an area chart to understand the sum of profit as well as sum of sales across the different years that this business has been in business in. Once I have that sorted, I go ahead to create my Sunburst chart. So I want to be able to visualize the region and states that buys the most from us. I'm going to distinguish them in levels. So the different states in which the cities are, I want to be able to have them spread across. So watch closely on how I'm able to create a Sunburst chart. So you can't create a Sunburst chart within a pivot table. It has to be outside of a pivot table. So I'm going to copy and paste that. visually understand the Sunburst chart, you have to really make it bigger to see how the spread is. So next up, we are going to use or create a column chart or a bar chart to be able to visualize our salespeople. Next up, we want to visualize our top 10 best-selling products that brings in the most profits, and we are going to also use a bar chart. Next up, we want to create a tree map, and the same way we created a Sunburst chart, we can create a tree map within a pivot table. It has to be outside of a pivot table to be able to create that. Of data, you can see how the color to tell is clearing. For all the furnitures, you see how they are in blue and technology is in gray. So next up, we'll create another column chart or a bar chart to be able to visualize our top 10 customers. For this, I want to make the bars a little bit wider than it looks so that it looks more better. So follow me as I walk around that. I'm going to reduce the gap width as well as introduce series overlap just to make sure that it's a bit wider, not as thin as it is. Then next or last up, we're going to give out chart title based on what they are trying to visualize. So once we have that sorted, do a few edits. However you want your chart to look, feel free to edit it how you want. Now we have all of that information sorted, I'm just going to multi-select all the different charts and paste it within the dashboard. I'll go ahead to fix them up wherever I feel is appropriate. So feel free to design your dashboard however you want. So I'm just going to move things around until I get the feel of what I'm going for. So now I have all my charts in the right position. I'm going to introduce a text box and watch how I introduce a reference into the different pivot tables to house the summary statistics information. So what you want to do is call in the particular sheet that this is from and then reference the particular cell. So I used A4. I didn't reference the pivot table. If not, it's not going to allow you to do that. So you have to reference a particular cell calling the sheet and then reference the cell, then do that over for all the different summary statistics information. So once I have all of my text boxes, I'm just going to do a few edits to just make sure that it looks the way I want it. So feel free to edit your fonts as well as the font color as well as the shape color, whatever you feel is appropriate. Then next up we introduce slicers. So once you bring that in, just place it where you feel is appropriate and edit your chart. Just feel free to edit your dashboard, whatever way feels appropriate to you. I'm just going to put things in perspective. So introduce your report connection. So this enables you to be able to connect or all the charts to be interactive. That's the secret to an interactive dashboard within Excel. Next, lastly, just make sure that the color consistency is as consistent as it should. You shouldn't have so many colors going on in your dashboard. That's one of the rules. If not, you're going to distract your audience from the main information that you're trying to pass. So what I'm trying to do here is to pick a particular color theme. And that's the point of your dashboard. It has to flow because you want to be able to communicate insights. If you're not consistent with your color theme for your dashboard, your audience may lose you because of so many things going on. So next up, I'm also going to introduce the dashboard title. Also introduce icons into this to just personalize and customize my dashboard.